Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Mustick, teachers, parents, friends, and our honored guests, the class of 2013. On behalf of the Rhinebeck School District, I welcome you to the 118th commencement of Rhinebeck High School. Please remain standing and join us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Good evening, everyone. We entered high school expecting to face a series of challenges. We believed we were invincible, prepared to overcome any hiccups on the way. But what we didn't realize was how much we would need each other and how much we would learn to value the alliance we would soon form. Through individual failures, rerouted trajectories, and ever-evolving designs, we realized that teamwork is the cornerstone of success. We learned that the sum is always greater than its parts. As freshmen, my classmates and I floundered. Each of us tried to carve individual paths, but in the intimate setting of Rhinebeck, we soon learned to harness each other's strengths and to bolster each other's weaknesses. This priceless lesson of unity hit home in the first week of AP Chemistry. Ms. Kappa gave us a lab that we deemed entirely impossible, but resolute on the integrity of her lab, our teacher did not acquiesce to the demands of her unhappy students. After much anguish, we finally heard what Ms. Kappa was saying all along. The only way to succeed was together. With this realization, all 11 of us dropped our defenses and fused our ideas. Together, we made sense of our unknowns. Together, we did what we believed was beyond our reach. In a setting slightly different from a chemistry laboratory, I have again understood the strength of the bonds in a team. Ballet, most people presume, is an individual sport, an art form focused on the singularity of each dancer. But after 7 years of ballet, I've taken away two things. Discipline is key, and performance is about the whole. Yes, perhaps in the studio, each dancer focuses on the strengthening of her own technique. But on the stage, we strive to synchronize our energy. Under the lights of the stage, dancers together become a unit of grace, a core of beauty. Alone, we are scattered, but as one, we can inspire. And though I don't yet know the specifics of my future, I know that I will strive to be a part of a unit, a part of something working for the greater good. For this reason, I put the military in my future. When people question my desire to serve, I look back to my days in chemistry and in ballet. I remember the feeling of limitlessness inspiration, and security that I derived from the team. Through danger, distress, and challenge, our military remains a cohesive unit. That cohesion speaks to my experiences. I learned that here, in high school, in Rye-Neck. As I enter the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps at MIT, and ultimately as I enter the fleet, I will harness the sense of team that I learned in high school. The unity I have felt and seen between family and friends, teachers and classmates has provided an invaluable support system. As we tackled new challenges, the Rye-Neck community provided us with a safety net that melted our apprehension, allowing limits to evaporate. During highs and lows, during stress and during success, we were triumphant because of the trust we held in each other. To all of my classmates, remember that one person can solve some problems, but many people can solve many more. In our transition to unknown ends, seek out challenge as an intangible human connector. And in the thick of challenge, remember that collective energy is always greater than the individual. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Thank you, Julia. That was beautiful. Welcome and congratulations to our graduates, teachers, family members, and friends. Our high school graduation is a spectacular celebration. It is this singular event that exemplifies the hard work of our graduates and the love and support our community has for each of you. It's a time to be proud. You each have had a hand in shaping these young people, and judging by the outcome, you've done an outstanding job. I always like to share a story with you, and I hope it may help you remember tonight. Recently, while we were attending a special evening with two of our graduates, Ryan and Julia, the event is the Lower Hudson Council Scholastic Achievement Dinner. It's always a pretty amazing event. There are more than 1,000 people gathered. Each school has its salutatory and valedictorian as honored guests. Each superintendent is there, as well as high school principal, the board president, and you can imagine what an electric evening that's like. They're all very accomplished young people in one place, and it feels contagious. Very much like we are feeling here tonight. Excitement, enthusiasm, on the brink of a new adventure. The speaker that night was Ken Burns. He's a noted historian and filmmaker. He provided us some of the most moving and memorable remarks I've ever heard. His words of advice to the graduates were simple. That is, they are in order to be successful, they need to do more. I decided that his remarks were so important that I wanted to share them with you tonight. Burns told one story that linked all three events around one concept, the idea of doing more. He was working on his first PBS special in 1982 about the Brooklyn Bridge. As a Brooklyn native, Ken Burns was taken by the story about the bridge, and as a young filmmaker, he thought it was the perfect story for a documentary. He was right. The piece is renowned and won him an Academy Award nomination. The story of the Brooklyn Bridge is one not only of technical achievement, but of a man coming up with ingenious solutions to overcoming problems. A man doing more. As Byrne related the story, as a young filmmaker, he was attempting to complete this piece for PBS. He was determined to do the best possible job, to do more. He researched carefully, spent hours making contacts and interviewing people. Burns finally decided that he needed to interview Arthur Miller, the playwright who had just written a play, A View from the Bridge, and Burns felt compelled to complete his interview with Miller would get a great perspective on what the bridge was. After dogging Miller for weeks, Miller finally relented and agreed to the interview. All the while, Miller kept protesting. He had nothing to add about the bridge, but Burns persisted. Finally, Miller relented. The day came for the meeting, and with sweaty palms, the film crew and Burns drove to Miller's Connecticut home. But on the ride up, Burns realized he had never really actually read the play. Well, to his dismay, as he was beginning to read, he realized that Miller was right. The play had nothing to do with the bridge. But it was too late, so he forged on. When Byrne finally arrived at the door, shaking, and after knocking a few times, Miller let him in. And once again, Miller protested. He had nothing to share that would be relevant about the Brooklyn Bridge. But for me, and I hope for you, this is where the story became interesting. Although Miller had no particular information concerning the specifics, he did indeed have an interesting perspective. He told Burns that for him, the story of the Brooklyn Bridge was indeed an amazing story, because the builder, Roebling, was not only built a functional structure against incredible odds, but he did more. He built one of the most beautiful bridges, a true work of art, something that would add value to the city and the world for years to come. Roebling did more. Byrne used that perspective to center this piece and his life with every project that followed. He followed Miller's advice. He did more. The key to the story is that great men and women who find their passion, no matter what the discipline, are only successful because they are willing to do more. So my hope for you is that when you see that famous bridge, or you read one of Miller's extraordinary plays, or you watch Ken Burns' documentaries, you'll be reminded of tonight and all of you that you have been blessed with, and you will do more. If you do, I'm confident that no matter what field you choose, you too will be highly successful and lead a rich and rewarding life, a life that will provide meaning not only for you, but will leave something beautiful for all of us. Congratulations and best of luck to the class of 2013. Unfortunately, Senator Latimer, who is supposed to be our keynote speaker tonight, was unable to leave Albany. There's an emergency in Albany and he wasn't able to come. He was good enough to send his words, and we're asking our very special Director of Counseling to, our guy, Mrs. Ann Wallace, to read his words for us.
Good evening. Dr. Mustick, members of the school board, administrators, teachers, parents, and students. I deeply regret being unable to join you tonight for this graduation ceremony for the class of 2013 of Rhinebeck High School. Our work in the state legislature in Albany has been extended, so I cannot be there with you all. Permit me a few brief thoughts. I sat where you sit tonight at my own high school graduation, class of 1970, 43 years ago this day. I had then what you have now, joy at completing this level of schooling, ready to celebrate with friends and family, facing a summer vacation before a new world begins in September, at college or whatever comes next. On that night in 1970, at age 17, I could not foresee the twists and turns of life yet ahead. I could not foresee Desert Storm or 9/11. I could not see ahead my wedding day or the birth of my daughter or the death of my mother and father. The world you are to live in as you leave here is unclear. One thing is clear. You will be called on to utilize your skills of flexibility to deal with what life will throw your way. Be ready. Today is a commencement, not a completion, in the many stages of your life. Let me close by encouraging you as you advance your life, your friends, your family, your career, the love of your life. Do remember others. The people in your community, the people you don't know, the ones in some need, the ones who may not have the talents or the success you have. Do not neglect them in your proper focus on your own life. Public service, service to others, is not corny or weak. This society of ours needs you to be successful. You need the larger society to be successful as well. Enjoy tonight, you've earned it. Tomorrow, the whole world is waiting for you and what you will achieve and what you will contribute.
This year marks the 21st year the Rhinebeck Teachers Association has given a scholarship award in memory of librarian and teacher Maureen Sullivan. Though I never knew Miss Sullivan, the people who did not only remember her fondly, they remember her as an enthusiastic advocate for students and a fierce believer in Rhinebeck's credo that all children can learn. This year, at first in the award's history, we have two recipients of the award. The seniors receiving the award must possess the qualities that Miss Sullivan held dear: motivation and self-direction, energy and enthusiasm for learning, a belief in the value of service, and an understanding of the role that leadership plays in the success of the group. Our first recipient is a young woman who displays all those qualities and more. Her teachers speak of her as a student who likes to be involved and thrives on hands-on experience. She volunteered for Key Club and participated in SAD. For community service, she volunteered at the Rhine Nature Center, caring for the animals and helping out at children's parties. Throughout her years in Rhinebeck, she transformed into a capable student and an independent learner. Most important, she is enthusiastic and has a positive outlook on almost any situation. She will be attending Eastern Connecticut State in September. Congratulations to Corinne Corsack. Our next recipient has held leadership positions throughout her high school career. She loves theater and has performed and/or worked in our annual musicals throughout her high school career. She has also made her mark on the playing fields and courts. She is the recipient of the 5-year Varsity Basketball Award, as well as the Athletic Department Service to the Program Award. Teachers describe this student as a burst of energy and as a positive influence on any class. An independent learner, this recipient volunteers at sports clinics and midnight runs and spends her summers working with children. In the fall, she will be attending the University of New Hampshire. Congratulations to Paige O'Donnell.
When I think of my peers and our journey through high school, I can't help but see beyond the attractive faces, the proven brilliance, and masterful talent. In fact, it isn't very hard for me to think back to just 4 years ago and remember how different everyone was. I can even recall earlier years when we were all just kids making paper snowflakes and learning the alphabet. I know that if there is one characteristic, one overwhelming quality that simply radiates from every member of the class of 2013, it's growth, it's maturity. For each one of us, this means different things, but in every case, it leads us to the same destination. The time in our lives when we are ready to move on from high school and to take on whatever challenges lie ahead. Ironically, the abbreviation for who we are, Rhinebeck, or RN, also describes what we are. We are ready now. We are ready to leave this great school where we have achieved so much. From great successes in our studies to powerful demonstrations as team leaders on and off the field, to far-reaching effects on the community through service, we have proven ourselves an unstoppable force. I know that what we have accomplished here will have a lasting impact on future Rhineck classes, and the evidence is everywhere. A younger teammate once told me after a tough loss to end my soccer season, "I've never felt closer to a group of people." I now understand what he meant. Put simply, the experiences we have shared as a class will forever be etched into our minds and our hearts. Even just being together for hours and hours in the same classes, learning similar things, makes me realize just how much we've endured together. The feeling undoubtedly applies to everyone here today. For as we progress from what once seemed to be the long hallways of our high school, we will always remember what we have done, together, for it. And of course, what it has done for us. We are ready to leave our mark behind and move on. We are ready now. We are ready to begin our post-high school lives as we push ourselves to limits never before known to us. We will find daunting challenges at college and at work, but we have never been more prepared. For instance, I can say with total confidence that while many of us procrastinate, we are at least aware of the perils of doing so. I also speak for most of us when I say that I have never been more excited and nervous at the same time in my entire life. I ask myself, am I going to miss these people? Of course. Am I hesitant to move another step closer to the real world, where the faces aren't as familiar and the environment not as forgiving? Definitely. Do I ever wish that there was just one more year of high school so that I could just enjoy its awesomeness? You bet. But in the midst of all this, I know that we have the tools to succeed, the tools to continue standing out. Stated simply, we graduated from Rhineck, and we are ready to demonstrate all that we have learned in whatever it is we choose to do this fall and beyond. We are ready now. We are ready to push ourselves even further past the obstacles presented to us in the future. We are ready to take on the challenges of the world. Fixing the global financial crisis, healing the earth, establishing world peace. We know that it will be difficult, but we know that we can do it. Perhaps we are romantics. Gone is the old, uncertain class of 2013. We aren't people who stay down when they fell, who gave up when they failed. No, as we walk out these doors, it should be very clear that we are joined by a common desire to succeed. We possess what Fitzgerald in The Great Gatsby called an enormous gift for hope. We hope that we don't fail, and as a result, we harness our diligence to our desire. And when we do fail, because we will, we work even harder until we transcend the barriers and get it right the next time out. It's certainly worth noting exactly how our noble attitudes developed, and there are a number of sources. The drive to succeed is in part rooted in our most forceful influences over the years, our parents, our teachers, our coaches, and our friends. Without them, we would never have made it this far. Now, it's time to show them that it was worth it, that we were worth it, that we have borne the fruits of their labors, time, love, and guidance, brimming with self-respect and enthusiasm, virtues most unique to Rhineck. We will march out of here and face the world head-on, because we are proud and because we believe that if anybody can do it, we can. We are ready to be the world's leaders, for you all and for ourselves. We are ready now. I cannot fully express the sense of nostalgia I feel as I stand among my greatest friends during our final moments together as a class. Happily, as I reflect, I can say that while we will move out of Rhineck High School, none of us will ever completely move on. Rhineck is a part of who we are now, and it always will be. In English class, we read about Hamlet and how he wasted 5 whole acts procrastinating. He just wasn't able to go out and really do what he set out to accomplish. Our stories are different. We write them with our actions. And so, we are ready to set out and conquer the world. We are ready. We are ready now.
brings back countless memories. All the times we've shared together, the good, the bad, the smiles, the laughter, and the tears. Our time here at Rhinebeck has, well, it's been an adventure, and to each their own, all filled with tons of memories. Some we'll never forget, and others we can't wait to get rid of. So as we end our life here at Rhinebeck, we'd like to thank all those who have helped us along the way. We'd like to present the school with a bench and plaque to help enhance the beauty of our soon-to-be renovated front patio. The bench not only represents our thanks, but our mark on the school. Whether good or bad, we were determined not to be forgotten, and it's pretty safe to say we won't be. I hope that when people look at this bench, they remember us, and we remember our time here. So congratulations to all these crazy people up here with me, the class of 2013, and may your futures be full of the success you all truly deserve.
Thank you. I want to thank the class of 2013 and its leadership for this generous gift. The bench that you have purchased for the new entrance to the high school will be enjoyed for many years by future classes. Thank you again, and yes, you will be remembered. Good evening. My students, we stand here today to celebrate you. It is your day, your time, your special moment. It is the class of 2013, creative, athletic, talented, community-minded, and generous. It is black and blue. It is Panther pride. It is Rhinebeck school spirit all the way. These same characteristics were captured by your yearbook staff and used to recall 4 of the most special years of your life. As your principal, I've had the privilege to be a part of this particular time, sharing with you the journey of high school. My expectation is that as you travel along the road to your future, you will take with you strength, commitment, and determination to greet challenges as opportunities and new experiences as the opportunity to learn and grow. And as you do so, my hope is that you will be encouraged by the words of Mark Twain, who said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So, throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, and explore, dream, discover. Your voyage begins today with the understanding that success is the ability to meet the challenges and the capacity to be creative thinkers and thoughtful human beings. As you take your place among the graduates of Rhinebeck High School, sail ahead to new places with the confidence to explore, dream, and discover. On behalf of the Rhinebeck High School faculty, I congratulate you and your parents on this very special occasion. May you look back upon your high school career with joy and appreciation. Best wishes for a lifetime of success and happiness. Congratulations. And now that special moment we've been waiting for. Mr. Pipolo, would you please join me in presenting the diplomas? Ryan Eric Ball. Julia Grace Rubin. Sydney Chiara. Alyssa Vinzones. And now it is my honor to introduce a member of our faculty, Ellie Spiros, to present the diploma to her daughter, Paige O'Donnell. Julia DeSantis.
baby!
Robert Allen. Brian Impero. Alex James Anderson. Carly Michelle Anderson. Carlo Balsamo. Joshua Brandon Barrett. Christian Barreto. Matthew Christopher Brennan. Jonathan Tyler Bruin. Connor Byrne. Jennifer Calderon. Nicholas James Cannon. Damiana Rosa Carolini. Allison Crothers. Barsha Chakraborty. Mega Chakraborty. Martin Isacio Coleman. Will Corrigan. Corinne Corsa. Jonathan Michael De Silva. Jared Daskell. Anthony Michael DeSico. Christopher John Delner. Ignacio DeLuca. Nick DiBattista. Alan Espinoza. Carissa Tamarina Fernandez. Talia Marie Fiorentino. Spencer Gelhard. Isaias Gonzalez. Mark Patrick Hotzencross. Timothy Hogan. Elena Hurlbutt. Peter Ianello. Tyler Jewson. Chisa Kakagawa. William Bullis Kebby. Brian Kerr. Michael Anthony Copey Jr. Chelsea Kwong. Anastasia Lafon. Gavin Lagani. Claudio Lasella. Remy Litvin. Alessandro Maffei. Tilde Malachati. Janine Lynn Mancheno. Jabrail McField. Rio McGuire. Eric Mendoza Connor. Rafael Mastanza. Michaela Morelli. Nicole Morgan. Henry Murphy. Athena Nathan. Richard Nathan. Joshua Newt. Teresa Giselle O'Quinn. Rita Lena Orazzi. Edward John Radcliffe. James Kelly Quigley. Jeffrey Aaron Rabinowitz. Jennifer Rubenstein. Jonathan Rubenstein. Jacqueline Sanchez. Jessica Sharon Sensi. And now it's my pleasure to invite former board trustee Heidi Sickles to present the diploma to her son, Matthew Sickles. Julia Salazzo. Whitney Soriano. Michael Joseph Spiegel. Whitney Ann Spiegel. Nicholas Spiegler. Taylor Stenrose. Natalie Tanner. Ariana Tardio. Alexandra Cynthia Tortaglia. Alex Michael Thompson. Rehema Ruth Uli. Victoria Rose Valentine. Tyler David Villejos. Roland Steve Vasquez. Erica Vidalis. Ricala Violi. Rachel Vollenweider. Sarah Anissa Wright. Anthony Francis Yellen IV. Christina Yu. Midori Yoshino. Daniel Young. Mr. Pippolo, I am happy to present to you the members of the class of 2013 who have successfully completed a course of study prescribed by the Board of Education and approved by the University of the State of New York, and who are entitled to be awarded these diplomas. Congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2013.